Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts and going over options tables and placing covered call orders. And so I started doing this last week at the beginning of the week, just before market open. Now I'm recording this Monday, February 26th, before market open. And I'm just going to go over, the covered calls that I'm placing to sell covered calls to sell call options, make a little bit of money over the course of the week on the shares that I have. And so I thought I'd just take you through my strategy. Might work for you, might not. This one I find works for me. I place these orders before I go to work at the beginning of the week, and then they get filled when market opens. I make a little bit of money pretty easy. Could make more money, but I feel like it's better to make a little bit of money than hope to make more money, because when I do place the orders at higher strike prices or higher limit orders, they don't always get filled. So I feel like this is a nice way to make some money. And so last week I did go over, let's see here, this I've got a screenshot of these tables. I basically make these every week. And so this is what I did last week. And the results for that are in gray here. It made almost $75 last week selling covered calls. And basically, in this table, it's grayed out because it's the past. That's how I kind of organize it for myself. And then what's white did not get filled. The text that's white is not filled. What's black did get filled, so that's tallied up here right around $75. And so the ones that did not get filled, not really surprisingly, the Biora covered calls, as well as a couple ChargePoint ones. And so I'm just going to go through this list, go through each ticker that's on here, and just go over my strategy in selling these covered calls. And so the first one that's on the list is AMC. And so last week I set a strike of $11 just because there's a double top right around there. I felt like it's a lot of resistance. Even if there's a bit of a squeeze, I feel like AMC will have a hard time getting above and at least holding 11 for a Friday. And max pains currently are much lower. So I felt safe putting a strike at $11 a share. But now with earnings coming up for AMC on Wednesday, I'm a little nervous, thinking that it might squeeze up. And so I don't want to sell my AMC shares, especially not at a lower average than my current average. So I'm reluctant to place a strike at $11 a share, and also that's not even an option for this week. And so, basically what I'm planning on doing with AMC is I'm going to do one covered call at a strike of 950. That's the highest that it will be for an expiration of March 1st. It's crazy how this is an image and it recognizes the text there. But anyways, March 1st, so this coming Friday. And then beyond that, the monthly contracts do have higher strike prices. And so my average, I believe, is around 1450. So I just want to have a strike above that in case it does squeeze. Because I have been forced out of some AMC shares in the past. I ended up just buying them back. But I don't want to be forced out of shares if it's just squeezing up super high, if that does happen over the next few weeks. And so anyways, the monthly contracts expire March 15th, and they have a much higher strike options in the table. And so I have those set. Actually, I haven't placed them yet. But yeah, I'm just going to first go over what AMC's max pain is for this upcoming Friday, March 1st. And I'm going to do that by going over here to max pain. Already got AMC typed in with the maturity of March 1st. Then I just scroll down here, and it looks like the max pain is $4.50. So well below a strike of $9.50, even though my average is higher than that. And that's why I only want to do one contract here. And then I just make $2, and then I get my shares back at the end of the week. And so that's why I'm doing that. And so that's because the limit price, $2, which here is 2 cents. 2 cents times 100 shares, that is $2. And so I always place my orders on my phone, so I'm just going to do that here. And I'm just going to do it, as I record this, so you guys kind of get a sense of, how I do this, my routine, and maybe something like this works for you, maybe it doesn't. And so I'm just going to, and actually, rather than doing it blind for you guys, I'm going to have the table pulled up here. So this is in Webull, the trading application or platform brokerage that I use for trading. And so here, AMC, price of $4.48 in the pre-market. But looking at this option table, let's see, this is for calls. At the top of the table, we can see up here, I actually have to scroll this over, we can see the bid price at $9.50 with the strike at $9.50. That is 2 cents. And so for me, when market opens, I would make $2 from that. So I'm just going to place that order. And so that is set. And then I'm just going to come back to my little screenshot here. And so that was at 2 cents. So that's good. I've got that placed. And then so for the 15th, I want to look for strikes of 16 and 20. And I'll explain why I picked those numbers in a second. But first, just to give an example for you guys, I'm going to go back over to maximum-pain.com, and I'm just going to adjust the maturity here to the 15th. And I'll show you the 8th, what the max pain is for the week after. It's still $4.50. I believe it's $5 for the 15th. Scroll down here. Yeah, so $5 with an expiration on the 15th. So, my strikes are, my strikes are well above that price. And so here, I'm just going to come up here, click on the March 1st here to minimize that. And I'm just going to maximize March 15th. And so like the highest strike that I could do is $28 a share. But, I'd rather make a little bit more money selling these covered calls. And so I'm just going to look at this table here. The next one up is $16. I'll explain why 16. And that should be a limit price of 4 cents. And I'm going to do 2 contracts or 200 shares. So that's $16. And that is right here. And so the reason why, if my average is $14.50, why wouldn't I choose $15? Because it's the same bid price, 4 cents at $15 a strike this is a sell, not the bid. That's the bid up here. It says bid. I'm not used to the terminology, sorry. So I would sell it and get 4 cents times 100, so that's $8. And so my experience, at least with Webull, is that if I do place an order for one contract at 15 strike and another at $16 strike, the higher the strike tends to get filled for some odd reason before the one with the lower strike. And so I'd rather A, get the same amount of money, and B, have less risk and or stand to make more profit if it does close on March 15th above $16. Then I'd lose my shares, but I'd make $100 more than if it were to be filled at the 15 strike. So that's just a little bit safer for me, in my opinion at least. And so I'm just going to come back to my table, my little screenshot, to make sure this is right. 200 shares at a strike of 4 cents. So that is right here. So I'm just going to do that on my phone real quick. Let's see here. $16 strike. And so I'm just going to sell 2 of those. And so now that order is placed. Okay. And I have my computer muted. I might actually turn the volume on so you can hear it beep when that order is placed. And then so the next one I believe is $20. And again, see here that 18 is 3 cents per contract. Same for 20. Actually, same for 20. 2 cents for 21. So I'd rather make 3 cents per contract at $20 a share. And so checking on my table, $20 strike, 3 cents, 400 shares. So that's 4 contracts. And so, I guess I'll come back to this table here so we can see here. That's 4 contracts at 3 cents. So that's 400 shares. That's $12. And I'm just going to place that. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 4 contracts placed. I think you'll hear a beep. Maybe you didn't hear a beep. Yeah, I guess it doesn't make a beep when I place option cells. So I'm just going to turn the volume down on the computer so it doesn't distract us. Move on to the next ticker here, which is Biora Therapeutics. all of these orders are placed. All of them have strikes weeks into the future. And so that's because Biora only has monthly contracts. And so here the next ones out are March 15th. And so those are just, my average is below $2 a share. So I just have all of these placed. The only one that was filled last week was this one, 250, I believe, with a strike in April. Maybe I'm incorrect about that. But yeah, I just do it, weeks to months out and just let these orders get filled. I do, as you can see, have tons of shares of Biora, and so this is a nice way for me to make, $5. Last week, I made $5. Maybe this week I'll make $5. Maybe I'll make more if Biora does start to move up a lot. So that could be nice. And then, I'm only at risk of either holding my shares long term because they're locked into these contracts, or if it does squeeze up and close on these Fridays above these prices, then I have to sell the shares at those prices. But then I'm, making money, so it's not a big deal because it's all the strikes are all higher than my average price. But then if it doesn't hit these, if it doesn't close at these strikes, then, I'm just still holding onto the shares, and then I can place more covered calls into the future. So not really a bad deal, but I will go over briefly, just what the max pains are for Biora, just so you get a sense of that, and kind of why, monthly contracts suck, especially when the ticker is trading below $1. It just becomes less interesting. So here, Biora expiration March 15th. That is the monthly contracts. That's actually max pain of 2. I was expecting it to be a lot lower, so that's kind of surprising. And then so if I do look over at Biora in the chart here, we can see but that, the bid price, what I would make if I was sell them, any of these strikes, $0. So that's why none of my orders were getting filled, because nobody's buying them, basically. But yeah, it looks like the max pain is $2, and the share price is much lower than that. So I wonder if there will be a squeeze, some violent moves for Biora in the coming weeks, because that would be more than doubling at current price. And then if I do look at the following month for April, closing a Friday on April 19th, max pain is $1. So that's kind of what I would expect. Not much higher. I mean, still notably higher, like 25% higher, 20% higher than current price. But yeah, if we do look at the options table here for that, $1, that's the only one that I could make money on, but my average is, unfortunately above $1, so I'm not willing to part with shares at that price. So that's why I just let those orders sit, don't really do anything with them. And so now I'm going to come back to the screenshot. Biora's all set. I do have ChargePoint, a couple ones from last week that didn't get filled. And so what I did with those is, you can see here that's in the white, $3 strike with the expiration of this coming Friday. I had that at 2-cent strike, so it'd be $2. I've adjusted it to 1 cent, so I make $1 on that. So hopefully that gets filled. If not, no big deal. And then for the following week, I had this strike, the limit set to 7 cents, that'd be $7. And then I have adjusted that to 2 cents, still with a strike 2 weeks out. I have enough shares of ChargePoint I can do kind of leapfrogging the covered call. So some expire this coming Friday, some expire the next Friday, and then I just replace those orders. So I always have shares I can sell covered calls on. And so here, yeah, I mean, these are both set. I can go over. First, before I do that, though, I guess I'll look at the max pain for next week. And so just coming back over to this website, type in ChargePoint here. And so for March 1st, we can see what the strike price is. That's $2 a share, as we can see right here. And so, my average, I believe, is just under $2.50. So I don't want to sell shares lower than that. And so now I look back at Webull, and I can look at the options table for March 1st. $2.50, I could make $1 from that. And so, that order I should place, that will get filled probably at market open. So I'm just going to place that on my phone here. Let's see, coming up for this week. And I actually already do have a position in this, and I'm just adding to it. I'll get those shares back at the end of the week, or, I'll sell at a slight profit. I'll part with my shares at a slight profit. So no big deal there. All right, so I've got that order placed. And then I'll just look at the $3 strike for this coming week, see how much that's worth. If I'd sell that, I couldn't sell it for 1 cent, get $1 for it. And so, I've basically locked in some money there. I've locked in the profits from last week. Or actually, no, that order hasn't been placed, or I've placed that order, it hasn't been filled. And so actually, yeah, I don't think that will get filled, but I'll just let it sit. If ChargePoint does go up, then that order would be filled. If not, whatever, I don't make $1, no big deal. And then so now I'll look to the March 8th expiration for ChargePoint, and coming over back to this website here, type in March 8th. For the maturity, scroll down. This stuff loads really fast. It's pretty nice. Still a max pain of $2. And so now I'm just going to minimize March 1st, expand March 8th. And here we can see what the strikes are, the limit sell orders are for this. And yeah, let's see, coming back to this table, ChargePoint for the 8th, 250, I want to sell that for at a limit of 5 cents, make $5 on that. And so let me take a look back at this table for March 8th, ChargePoint at 250. Yep, make $5 on that. So I'm just going to make sure, checking back on the table. That is right. I need to place that order. Okay. So now I am, here looking at ChargePoint on my phone, and I already actually do have a position at $2.50. I think it was filled last week. And so I'll go over that. I'm just going to place this sell order. And so, yeah, I should make $5 from that. And the other option, that I do have placed is a strike of $3. So that didn't get filled. Let's see, the limit of 2 cents. Will that get filled? That should get filled when the market opens. So I should make $2 from that. So that will be, nice. It's not that much money, but it is nice to make a little bit of money. And, rather than just waiting for it to not get filled, so. Yeah, and then from this, now I guess I'll look at Fisker. And so I do have 200 shares that I can sell. And so that would be with a strike of $1.50 and $1. So my average is below $1. And then so the first one is with a strike expiration, I should say, for March 1st. I haven't had my coffee yet. Please excuse me. And so now I will come over here to look at Fisker, which I'm sure this won't be too exciting because it's below $1. The strike is probably $1, or so the max pain. It's actually 50 cents. So that could suggest that price will be going lower. But yeah, with a strike of 1 cent, I should be in good shape. A limit of 1 cent, strike of $1.50, then I'd be selling in profit and make $1 either way. And so here, coming back to this table here, I'm just going to click over to Fisker. This is for, I need to pull up that screenshot of this. Let's see, $1.50, 1 cent. And so here, $1.50, 1 cent, I can place that order. And so I'm just going to do that on my phone, as is my routine. And so let's see, just scroll to $1.50. I already have a position in that. Also have a position at $1 strike. But, I'm just going to do this one at $1.50 because then I stand to make more money than if it closes above $1. I have to sell at $1. This way I could even hold on to those shares if I wanted, or I can sell them above $1 after the expiration. And so, yes, this is for 1 cent at a strike of $1.50. Just making sure I have this right. Cool. Placing that order. And now I will look back at this. And so this is Fisker again, but this is for the next week out, March 8th. So I'm just going to go over to that table to look at what the max pain is for the next week. And so I scroll down again. Pretty exciting here. Max pain of $1. So getting a little bit exciting, a little spicy in the weeks to come. And so for $1, I can make 3 cents or, $3 on that. And so I'll come over to this table again, open up the March 8th, minimize the March 1st, And so this, not too many options there, kind of a limited options table. And so yeah, a strike of $1, I could make 3 cents. I could, set it to $1.50 strike, but I'd only make $1. I'd rather make 3. And if I have to part with my shares, that's fine because I have tons of them. I've got a lot of them, been accumulating. And so that is, correct there. So I'm just going to place that, let's see, 3 cent limit at $1 strike for March 8th. Make sure that's correct. And so, yep, come back over here, do it on my phone. And actually, there was one mistake that I did make in last week's. I think I set the wrong expiration or something. So I'll point that out at the end of this. I think it was on ChargePoint. But yeah, so March 8th here, limit of 3. Yep, so got that placed. So looking good there. And so I'll point that out in the table here. Let's see, I think it was one of the charge points. I think this one, or no, this one I had, so that's the expiration here. That I think one of them got filled a little bit lower than what I wanted to put in. I forget, maybe it was this one here, up here. This is 2, yeah, so I had it set at 3 cents. But I think I actually placed the order incorrectly or it just didn't get filled, and then I adjusted it and it ended up getting filled. So that was kind of a mistake. But anyways, I will get back to you. I just did Fisker. Now I will do GameStop. And so let's see. The first one is for a strike expiration March 1st. So I'm just going to come back over to this Max Payne website, type in GameStop. And so for March 1st, let's see, scroll down. Max Payne is $13.50. That's actually getting close to my average, I believe. Actually, no, I think my average is around 20, so never mind. But, I don't want to be selling, at this price, so I will want to check out, make sure that I'm not going lower than that. And so with GameStop, yeah, in the 20s. And so why do I have it so much higher than like $20, $24 here? And so let's see. I have not had my coffee yet. Let's see, $24 expiration March 1st. So I need to check that out. Coming back over the table here, that was $24, I believe. So scroll up here. No, it basically goes to 1 cent above that and then 0. And so 24 is getting close to, and then actually like just below 24, it's like 1 cent. So why is that? I'd rather make 2 cents per contract or $2 per contract than $1 per contract. So that's why I'm going with 24. I could do like 22 or 21 and a half, but I'd rather make $2 a share or $2 a contract, 2 cents a share. And so looking back over at my screenshot here, I'm doing 1 contract, strike of 24 at 2 cents. I'm just going to make sure that's correct. Yep, looks good here. So I'm just going to do that on my phone. Let's see. Fun stuff. Pretty exciting doing this. I just do this, I'd look at that table, do it on my phone real quick before going to work. But I don't have to work in the mornings anymore, so I have time to make these videos. And so, yep, scrolling, finding $24 and placing that order for 1 contract, 2 cents equals $2. All right, and then so now I'm going to come back to this screenshot, look at GameStop. And so for the next week, ending March 8th, I'm just going to scroll up here, put that in there, scroll back down to look at that's $14. So, again, my desired strikes are well above Max Payne. So this one is going to be $22.50. I should make $6 from that. And so I'm going to come back over to, let's see, Weeble to then minimize March 1st. It's a pretty extensive table. Maximize March 8th. And, we can see up here, I believe that's $22.50 was the strike that I wanted, $22.50. And so that is right here. I could do 22, make $6, but I'd rather, risk having to exit my position at a strike of $22.50 rather than $22. So I make $6 there. And actually, yeah, I mean, if I go lower, in this, you could see that the bids, what I'd sell at, would be a lot higher, but I don't want to part with my shares down that low. I'd rather do it at 22.50 if I had to. And so with that being said, just making sure that's correct with my table, 22.56, so 22.56, that looks good. So I'm just going to do this on my phone for the expiration of next week. And so let's see, 22.50. And I will place that sell 6 cents, make $6 on that. And so that's all good. And so now I just have one more contract to sell, which is Luminar. And so that is for an expiration of this week. And actually, I'll show you why I'm not doing a leap with this. I already have, let's see, I'm just going to look. Yeah, so last week I had placed this order for LAZR, Luminar, at a strike of $4 with the expiration of March 1st, this coming Friday, and that was filled. So why am I not leapfrogging this to March 8th? And I'll show you why in just a second. And so first, I need to look at what is the max pain for this coming Friday. So come back over to this website, type in LAZR up here, maturity, March 1st, scroll down, 250, so $4 is well above that strike or above that max pain. So all good there. And so here looking at $4 strike. And then I will show you why I'm not looking at the 8th. And so first I'll look at the 8th because that's what I would normally do. And actually I could, before I do that, look at the max pain for the following week to see what that is. And that is 250 again. So again, no real risk in me having to part with my shares, part from my shares at $4. So no big deal there. And so yeah, looking at March 8th, if I look at the strike of $4, I could make 2 cents per share, $2 per contract. And so that seems nice, a little bit of money. But then if I look over at March 1st, it's actually double that for the expiration on March 1st, this coming Friday. So I'd rather part with my shares or loan them out, get $4 and then get them back after this week, then loan them out for $2 and get them back in 2 weeks. So this is a better deal for me. So that's why I'm doing that. And I believe my average is like a 355. So it's unfortunate I can't do this strike 350, but I just want to ensure that I make money on these. And so for March, if I have to sell them, if they do close in the money. And so for March 1st, I want to do $4 strike and then I make $4 on that. So not too bad there. So yeah, just scroll into my Luminar position, go into the options tab and placing an order. I already do have an order placed and filled, or that was filled last week at the strike. So now I'll just have 2. And this time, I'm just making $4 extra. So yeah, that is basically what I do every single week. I don't have more shares, more hundreds of shares to be doing covered calls. But like I said, last week I did make $75 doing this. Typically, I feel like I make around $20 doing this. But now that I've done this like leapfrogging strategy, I tend to make a little bit more money. And so last week, the contract that I made the most money on was this ChargePoint one, which expires next week. So I really, leapfrogged it out a couple weeks. So that's why I was able to make so much money with that. I didn't really feel like doing that this week, extending it out so much. But, I guess I could, check to see, what the ChargePoint strike is for a couple weeks out, which is the monthly contracts. And so, yeah, it's really not that appealing. Let's see, what did I do for ChargePoint? Strike of 250. And so here, if I did 250, it makes $7. So not really that crazy. So I don't really plan on or intend to, leapfrog it out multiple weeks. I'll just do it one week. So, I get some shares back the end of this week, and then I get some of the other shares that I leapfrogged out into next week, and then I can just repeat that cycle. So that is really, just my passive, covered call option strategy. If you did find this helpful, make sure you like the video. Also share your thoughts. What's your covered call option strategy? What's your option strategy? I'm just trying to, make sure I make money every week. And this is a nice kind of safe way for me to do that. And, of course, I didn't say it when it was up there, but make sure you subscribe if you do find this content helpful. And let me know in the comments. This is kind of a new thing that I'm doing, casual, doing this 30-minute video. So I don't know how many people are going to watch all the way to the end. But if you did, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week trading, make lots of money. And also hopefully you're learning as well in different strategies to make some money. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Have a great week.